What the f?
Okay, so I've just entered the entrance, if you will, one of the entrances to the Florida Everglades. About to head through the toll plaza here and make my way all the way to Venice, Florida, to hopefully purchase a really rare Trofeo, like a one of one. I know a couple people have done this, but it wasn't a coach builder's car or anything like that. This was custom done by the guy selling it in 1989. An 88 Toronado Trofeo convertible. So stay tuned. Wow, here she is. So far, better than I expected.
5 hours later.
Okay, so this is an interesting start to a video I did not expect to have to make. You can see it's 12:30 in the morning out here in the middle of the Everglades. Highway is completely empty. I'm literally standing in the middle of the highway. And my dolly, which this poor thing, I work it hard, I work it every week, didn't really give me any warning signs. You know, I didn't hear any wheel bearing noise. I always check my bearings, like at least a couple times a month, just pop up the dolly quick with a jack, spin the wheels. They've sounded fine. Did not expect this to happen. So I'm about 20 miles from home. I drove like 300 something miles today. So thank God this happened as close to home as it did. I'm within range of my AAA, but they won't pick up the trailer. They'll only pick up the car, unless maybe I throw the AAA guy a few bucks. We'll see what happens. But so yeah, I got the convertible Trofeo. I'm not sure if I've talked about it or not by the time this clip gets put in and this video gets made, but this is a one of two. And the other one was not built by the same. This was commissioned by the guy that owned this car. He took it to his shop and said, build me a Trofeo convertible, when the car was 6 months old. Guy bought the car, had it converted right away, and he owned it for the past 30 something years. And he's an older guy. He's, you know, he just kind of gave up on it. It's got some electrical problems, so I bought it way out in Venice, Florida for $1,000. Anthony sent me the Hemmings listing for this. Thank you, Anthony. But yeah, almost home here, and all of a sudden I start seeing sparks. I thought maybe my tire popped. Like I said, I was more worried about the tire. And well, it turns out it was my wheel bearing. It was smoking. I'm just getting out of the way. There's finally a car coming here after like 5 minutes. And so I I pulled over. Thankfully, I'm at an area of the highway here where there's a merging lane, because there's a little park over here. You know, like a park on the Everglades. And all right, now the one car is gone. Let me get back out of the car. Thankfully, I have AAA. So they're coming. Well, they haven't called me yet. You know, they call me when a driver's dispatched. And being that it's Sunday at 12:30, it's probably going to be a little while. But they are going to come and get the Trofeo. Then I have to figure out what I'm going to do with the dolly. Like I said, I'm hoping that the driver brings a flatbed and I can throw him a few extra bucks, and he'll, you know, wheel lift the Trofeo and flatbed up the dolly. I really don't want to abandon it out here. I mean, I do live in South Florida, so it'll probably be gone by the time I come back later for it. I can't tow it home, obviously. The wheel's about to fall off. If I had 3 or 4 husky friends with me, we'd probably just pick it up, throw it in the back of my pickup truck, but I don't, and I'm not bothering anybody at this hour. So if this guy won't take it, I'm gonna have to call a separate tow, and AAA won't take it. Even if I do a separate call, I'd have to just call another wrecker and pay them whatever, $100 to take it 20 miles home. I reacted quickly, pulled over, and the wheel didn't fall off. I was originally, when I pulled over, maybe 5 feet over there. I said to my girlfriend, I'm like, all right, she's in the truck. Let's let it cool off and we'll try to go again. Like really slow, like 10 miles an hour with the hazards on. I moved like 2 feet and the wheel's doing this. It's about to come off. So I actually have my floor jack with me and I used it to support the dolly. This car, as I said, does not run. That's why I have my floor jack. I have 2 floor jacks with me because I used the floor jacks to get the car on the dolly. Getting out of the way again. I got traffic coming, but so yeah, waiting on the tow truck. Haven't even gotten a call yet. That's the first step, and usually they'll call you and say, all right, I'm an hour out. Almost friggin' made it. That bearing could not hold on just a little bit longer. Okay, so we waited about a half hour. AAA is not called yet. I was just thinking of in several ways I could have done this, and I ended up jacking up and I felt the wheel. It's very loose, but I yanked on it and it still won't come off yet. So we're just gonna roll down the road like 10, 15 miles an hour, real slow. If there's people coming, we'll pull over so that way we don't endanger anybody. I want to at least keep it moving while I'm waiting for AAA. Push the car off the dolly, locked it up. It's here. Gonna get this. My intention is, because AAA could take hours, I want to get my girlfriend home, get this back to my house hopefully, and then I'll come back here to the car, and I have another dolly. I'll come back with my other dolly and try to load it up, at least try, and while I'm waiting for AAA. So hopefully it doesn't take that long. Off we go. Okay, so I'm moving along at like, whoa, I didn't realize I was going that fast. The wheel is doing okay. With no weight on the dolly, it's doing okay. So we might make it back.
3 hours later.
Okay, I'm hoping that's my car. I don't even remember where the heck I left it. Oh yeah, can't mistake those lines. So AAA, I'm not knocking AAA because of the circumstances. It's wee hours of the morning, Monday morning, Sunday night, whatever you want to call it. I mean, now it's 3:11. I called them at 12:11, exactly 3 hours ago. That says 2:11, but I haven't bumped it up. I never changed the clock. Exactly 3 hours ago, I called them. I kind of knew this was going to happen. During the day, AAA has been always very good for me. You know, usually within an hour, they'll pick something up. But especially with how remote of an area I'm in, I knew this was not going to work out. Believe it or not, that wheel held on all the way home because there was no weight on the dolly. So 20-something miles, it made it back to my house. And then I grabbed this dolly, which I haven't even used since May. If you haven't watched my road trip video in the Copart Sierra, scroll back on my channel a little bit, you'll see it back in May. Definitely an interesting video, and this dolly gave me all kinds of issues in that trip. But hey, what choice do I have at this point? I knew AAA was not coming, and I was not going to leave this car out here. It'd be funny if they pulled up right now. Redneck engineering, my friends. I just so happen to have these 60-pound bags of Quikrete in my Escalade to hold this thing still. Make sure before I celebrate here. Yeah, we're on the money. Okay, she's loaded up. Time to call AAA and tell them don't bother coming. Okay, I've got the Trofeo loaded up, strapped down. Goodbye. Empty, mosquito-ridden, adjacent to Everglades Highway. I think I've gotten every possible mosquito virus at this point. Dengue fever, everything. Had that before, fun fact. Most sick I've ever been in my life. So, AAA never did call. I called them and canceled. We were driving back to my house with the blue dolly, the one that had the wheel bearing fail. I was going like 40 miles an hour, hazards on. The speed limit on this highway is 55. So I wasn't going that slow. And again, you see the road's barren. I'm doing that, we're driving for, I don't know, at this point, I had to have gone several miles. And all of a sudden, there's this car coming up behind me. And I'm like waiting to see if he's gonna move over, getting closer and closer and closer. I'm like, what's this guy doing? Like, surely he's gonna move over, surely he sees me. And like, it's getting to the point where he's like 3 car lengths from me, still full speed. And I'm saying to my girlfriend, she's in the passenger seat next to me at the time, and I'm like, what's this guy doing? Surely he sees me. And I realized, like, he doesn't see me. He's sleeping or something, or looking at his phone. So I floored it. And he literally must have came, my girlfriend says all she saw was like the headlights right there in the mirror. He must have came this close to hitting the dolly. And all of a sudden, he was in a newer car. It probably has the little beep, beep, beep sensors when you get too close to somebody. But the car didn't stop because all of a sudden he veers the car over. He may have nicked the tire on my dolly. I don't know. But, I mean, he this close to hitting me. And that would have been interesting. Obviously, it would have made a bad night even worse for me and for that guy. He just missed me. And as he went by me on this side, he was like this. He wouldn't even look at me because I'm sure, I get it, stuff happens. I mean, the guy probably dozed off. He didn't hit me. What am I gonna do? Ah, you idiot. I mean, whatever. That's that. En route to home. Hopefully no more issues.
20 minutes later.
I cannot make this up. I might be filming the right thing. Look at this. Oh, that's great. You cannot make this up. I'm still several miles from home. I gotta stop buying these Trofeos. They seem to all have a curse with me. Well, I already know what I gotta do. It's not the end of the world, but...
1 hour later.
Okay, I'm back. I was really not that close to my house, honestly. I don't even think I made it halfway. I brought the tire from the dolly, the first dolly, and I brought a bunch of spare tires. I think that one's gonna be too big, but we'll see. All right, current situation. I got the bad tire off. I figured this was gonna be way too big. You look at that one compared to this one, so I brought a bunch of spares, like I said. Thankfully, this one fits, bolt pattern, size, everything. So I'm just airing it up. Gonna throw it on and hopefully finally go home. Now it's like 5:30 in the morning. I mean, now the morning commuters have started. Okay, I've got the spare on. Got the dolly hooked back up to the truck. Let's get the heck out of here.
20 minutes later.
Okay, well, I'm finally home. I never thought I'd see the moment at this point. This added, God, I think it's like 6 a.m. right now. All the mishaps with dollies and everything else added like 5.5 hours to this ordeal. Sorry, it's so dark. That might help. And I realized after I went home, got the spare tires. So I thought of it after I was done putting the spare tire on. There's a lot of crap in here. Like actual crap. There's the spare. And I don't know if there's a tire iron in there. I don't feel like digging through all this crap right now at 6 a.m. But it's very possible that spare might have fit the dolly and that there's a tire iron in here. that would have fit the lug nuts and the dolly. It's possible. I think it's more likely that that tire may have fit, but the lug wrench may not have fit. Let me look at the lugs. Oh, what do you know? They look exactly the same. So yeah, it probably would have fit. And there probably is a tire iron in there at that spare tire. And I didn't have to come all the way home to get a spare and go all the way back, which added an extra hour to this ordeal. Does it really matter at this point? Getting to bed at 5 or 6 a.m., what's the difference? I'm already screwed. I got work in 3 hours. So, it's like, do I even go to bed now? My girlfriend took this, there's me, looking baller. That's when I loaded up the Trofeo, which that was a mission in itself, loading this thing up at the pickup spot. Little did I know what I was gonna be getting into. Woo boy. I think this is gonna end up being a video in itself. I would hate to take away from the car and put all this at the start of the video and then show you guys the car. So, but that's gonna do it for now. In total, this took, I left here at like 3 p.m. Sunday, and here I am back at 6 a.m. Monday. So it was like 15 hours to get a car. It was 3 hours, 3.5 hours away. What? 15 hours? How did this take so long? Just the loading of this thing took like an hour and a half. And then the loading it again, that actually went pretty quick. You guys, a lot of you guys say, Al, you're so lucky, all these great cars that you win, you get great deals and you fix them easy. There's a balance of good luck in some respects and bad luck. And I'm not sure. I've mentioned it in the past. I mean, Trofeos are one of my favorite cars, right? I've had my black one for well over a decade. I've had my blue one now for several years. But it just seems like every time I interact with a Trofeo, something bad happens. And the one that I've always called cursed is over there, the fire Trofeo. But honestly, the more I think about it, I feel like every single time I interact with any of my Trofeos, something goes horribly wrong. So maybe it's time I find a new favorite car. Just realized I was blinding you guys. So anyways, let me know what you guys think, if it really is bad luck with these cars or just a coincidence. I don't know. I don't have these things happen to me in my Escalade. You know what I mean? Seems like whenever I buy and mess with one of these, shiitake mushrooms always hits the fan. So thanks for watching, guys. Pray for me to have better luck in situations like this. Although I will say I'm very grateful that when the first dolly, which is now sitting over there in shame, had its wheel bearing fail, that I did not lose the wheel, especially at a high rate of speed. Things could have been a lot worse. So you got to look at the positives, right? Thanks for watching. Keep an eye out for the next one.